Hello, and welcome to the uShip Shopify onboarding. My name is Michael. I am the API enablement specialist here at uShip. Today, I'll be walking you through what it takes to get set up with uShip and some of the troubleshooting issues that you might run into using our app, and the best way to calculate a rate through showing you the settings of our uShip app and some of the settings for Shopify for products, shipping profile, and meta fields. Let's start with the uShip app. So at this point, you should have already downloaded the uShip app. Once you click on that, it should load our listing management page. This listing management page will show you every single shipment that is created through uShip for your user account. That means that not all of the shipments will have a Shopify ID, because if you create a shipment on the uShip website that was not created through a Shopify order, that listing will also show up here. So it's basically just an all-in-one way for you to pull listings and see everything in one place, which is great for a lot of our users to be able to manage all their orders in one area, or at least see them in here and get the details that they need. In here, there's really a couple things you can really do. Mostly it's viewing orders and updating the tracking details. Let's go over the uShip app settings. So in here, we have the uShip settings page. This starts with our shipping rate markup. So this markup is basically added on top of the calculated rate so that you have some wiggle room to update the pricing after the order has been, or after the listing has been created. What that means is the customer will pay a suggested price plus this percent markup. When the order is then listed on uShip, it'll be listed for a lower amount, whatever the name your price amount is. So what that means is if you add 10 to 15% here, like we suggest, you save that. If the price of the uh, shipment is, let's say, $100, the customer would then pay $115. The order would then be listed for $100, and you'd have that extra $15 of either margin, which is going to be profit, or you can add that extra $15 to then try to get a carrier to book your listing. So it's kind of just an extra incentive in case your order for some reason is taking a while to get booked. Or if you have orders that are typically a little bit heavier or larger orders, as in people order multiple items, this is a great way to kind of offset any sort of extra shipping cost. So you could do this as a percentage or as a dollar amount, which would just be a flat rate that's added to that calculated rate in checkout. Next, you have the protection plan, which is our uShip protection plan. So this is an internal protection plan that we built that basically provides some coverage in case of an incident. You can check out our help page for more details on exactly what all this covers and the amounts. The main things to know are that if the item is under $1,000, the deductible for replacing that damaged item, or basically your shipping protection deductible for any sort of incident, would be $100. If it's over $1,000, the deductible then goes up to $500. For here, for this, you basically have three options for your listings at the time of the order being placed. You can either add no protection, which would then add no additional fees to the calculated rate that the customer would pay at checkout. You have the option to then also add it to all listings, or you have the option to add it to listings over a certain value amount. So, say you only want to do this for orders that are over $2,000. You just click that and then you'd hit save, and this would automatically be added to that calculated rate at the time of checkout. Your access key. So this is the API access key generation, where basically you go to this site, you click on generate key. Once that key is created, you click copy, and then you would just paste that in here. Since I already have one, I don't need to do this, but this typically is the first thing you would do after you download the uShip app. This basically just links your account from uShip to the uShip app in Shopify. This is how everything is connected. So if this ever, for some reason, becomes invalid, which it should not unless you create a new one, but this is basically the only way that we know which account in uShip is connected to this app in your Shopify store. So if you ever have any issues getting that created, just give us an email at APIsupport@uship.com, and I could go in and take a look, verify if this is the correct API key, and if not, we can have you generate a new one, and that would basically fix any sort of issue that you might be having with listing. Usually the first indication of that is the listing management page is not loading and is showing a 500 error. That's typically the first sign that your API key might not be valid anymore. At that point, like I said, you could either just go generate a new key, or you can message us if you have any issues. The next option for the settings would be the shipping rate plan. This is basically where you would select what you want the pricing to look like on checkout. So this is where you would choose between the uShip calculated rate plan, which would basically generate the rate and then the customer would pay that. You also have the option of choosing free shipping for all purchases, which basically the customer would then pay no shipping cost. You would basically just get a listed price at the time of the order being created that you would pay for once you list the item on uShip. And then we have a flat rate plan for all purchases. So say, for example, you sell basically only the exact same type of item. You've built in shipping into the cost of that item that you've listed on your store, and you kind of get a general idea of like what you will pay every single time that someone places an order. So this is typically best for users who only ship to certain locations, so they kind of have a general idea of what the pricing for shipping would look like in that area that they deliver to. Product dimensions. So this is very specific in how you have to set up your product dimensions. Basically, if you don't do this correctly, you will not generate rates on the checkout page on Shopify. So this is super important to do, to pay attention to. And if you ever have issues with a product not calculating a rate, it's usually something to do with that product's dimension setup. So the options here are meta fields, title, description, or tags. We have a very useful help page that I will also send out at the time of this onboarding that will basically walk you through what that setup looks like. But ideally, meta fields is great for customers who have a lot of products with a ton of variants. So say like you sell like a mattress, and that mattress comes in a full a queen, king, and a California king size. Metafields would allow you to basically add the dimensions for each one of those products so that at the time of purchase, the calculated rate is then more accurate to that specific item versus just giving all four of those items the same values for the dimensions. So the height, the width, and the length. The other option would be adding the dimensions in the title of the product. You can also add the dimensions in the description of the product, or you can create unique tags. So this is usually most helpful when you have a lot of the same products, so that every time you add a new product that is similar in size and shape or the exact same size and shape as another product, say, for example, you sell doors, you can basically just kind of create tags that would say, okay, this is a normal standard size door, or this is an archway door, whatever the case is. You can create specific tags that would include the height, the length, and the width in that tag. There is very specific formatting for title, description, and tags that has to be followed. Meta fields do not need any sort of specific additional setup other than what I will show you later on in the settings. But specifically, you don't have to do anything extra. Whereas with title, description, and tags, there's a little bit of specificity on how those need to be created. Like I said, there is a very helpful help page on our site that will kind of go over exactly what we're looking for, which I will share at the time of this onboarding video being sent out. Next, we have the zip code exclusion. This is basically, we created this because for Shopify, they typically only allow you to exclude certain states, and we wanted to be a bit more specific. So this is for users that do local delivery within a specific zip code or area. This would allow you to say, for example, I'm in Austin, Texas. I would then say, like, I will deliver locally to all the Austin, Texas zip codes. And so at that point, I would just go ahead and here and I would enter in all the zip codes that I know I deliver to locally. I would click on save. And now, whenever a customer checks out from one of these zip codes in the Austin area, they will not see a calculated rate from uShip. They would see the local delivery rate, which is something that you do have to set up if you decide to use this. Local delivery rate would be set up in your shipping profile, which I will cover a little bit later. Pickup day settings. So this is the number of days that between the time of the order being placed and the item or products in that order actually being able to be picked up. So if you have items like a couch that you need to maybe wrap and or pack up in a specific way, this would basically be, so if the order is placed on Monday, then the order should be ready for pickup on Friday. So this is just kind of the number of days between order being placed and pickup ready for carrier to come pick it up. Typically, this is best for customers that have a lot of on-hand products. Otherwise, if you mostly do custom products, this would be a bit more longer term. So like be like 30 days, 90 days, whatever the case is. But if you do both, where you have some products in stock and then some items that are custom that require some build time, you could set this to whatever the in-stock product time is, and then you can basically control the delivery rate of your custom orders in the back end on your listing management page or in the uShip page, where you can go in and basically just update the pickup date in that order specifically. uShip account credentials. So this is basically just the username and the password that you use to log in to your uShip account. And basically adding that information in here allows our API to request to add tracking links for you. This is because right now our tracking link generation is not specifically public through our APIs. So the way that we authenticate is with your username and your password here. The carrier service name, this is the name of the actual shipping price on the checkout page. So instead of saying like UPS and then the price for uShip calculated rate, it would say uShip in-home delivery and then whatever the price is that we've calculated for your shipment. You can change this to whatever you'd like. A lot of people change this to like white glove in-home delivery. This is a very typical name for it, but you can change this to whatever you'd like. Basically, this does not affect anything as far as the way that we calculate rates. This is just the naming structure on that checkout page. The last item here that is most important is the uShip auto listing. So this is basically once an order is placed through Shopify, as long as it is one of two types of orders, a POS order or a online store order, then the listing will be auto created. What I mean by that is on the orders, there are specific shipping channels that sometimes would not be covered. So like in this case, this order did not come from an online or in-store like POS system. Let's say this was from TikTok or Etsy or Facebook Marketplace, whatever the case is if it is not an online store or POS order, it's from another channel, it will not auto list. So really important to know and understand that. The easiest way to list an order that is not auto listed is to select that order or multiple orders, come over here to these three dots, go under apps, and then select the create uShip listing. This would then create the listing for you on uShip. And again, this is most useful for if you do not, let's say you turn off auto listing, or if that listing, like I said, is not from a channel that we support for the auto listing. Auto fulfillment is not useful for most of our stores. This is a very specific thing that was created for one of our users that was asking for the specific tool. But basically, what it would do is it would create a dummy URL for the tracking link, so one that does not work, and then it would auto fulfill the order here on your orders page in your Shopify store. The reason we usually don't suggest this is for most of our users, they are managing their orders in the store under the orders page. So usually they want to track where their fulfillment's happening there. In this case, if you select yes, it would then mark that as autofilled, and it would actually send a dummy tracking link to your customer, which is why, again, we decided we usually don't suggest that most of our users turn that on. All right. So that is basically it for all of the shipping uShip app settings. But if you have any questions specifically outside of what I've covered today, feel free to reach out to us. Like I said, you can contact me directly through API support at uship.com, and I can walk you through any questions or answer any other additional information that you might need from us. Thank you.